I'm Caleb Parker, and this is my audience. I'm here to give a speech on the feminization of Christianity and to answer the question, why do men tend to avoid church while women are drawn to it? If you were to attend a typical service at a church in the U.S., you'd probably see a lot more women than men. But with the exception of the pastor, elder, priest position, etc., even in leadership positions, you'll see a lot more women filling those. For example, U.S. Congregational Life Surveys did a survey and found that 61% of worshipers are women. That leaves only 39% for men, so it still stands to question what causes that large gender gap. Before I get into the main part of the speech, I need to clarify that femininity is not inherently bad. Masculinity is not good. That's not the point. The point is, why are the feminine aspects more prominent while the masculine aspects are overlooked? And why do men avoid church in general? So the most obvious answer would be that the religion is in and of itself a feminine religion. That would, if hypothetically Christianity was a feminine religion, you would expect to see a lot more women attending. But if we go to the origin of the faith, we find the life of Jesus Christ in the New Testament of the Bible. So there's the first problem, that Christ in and of himself was a man. So it'd be really difficult for the religion to be a feminine religion if its founder was a man. Also, we find the closest followers, the 12 disciples, were also all men. So again, difficult for it to be a feminine religion. Jesus was also a manly person. So we find in his life he was known for calling out those, even close friends sometimes. And at one point he made a whip of cords, ran into a temple, threw everything apart, and drove the people out with a whip because he was so enraged by what he saw there. So clearly, Christianity was not founded in femininity. So there must have been something else. Between the origin and now, there had to be some sort of change that came about. So if we look through history, we find that change in the Middle Ages. There are several passages in the Bible which refer to Christ as the groom, the church as the bride. There were female mystics in the Middle Ages who kind of stretched that a little to take it as every individual is the bride and Christ is the groom, and every individual is married to Christ in salvation, which of course is not what the gospel teaches, and led to a lot of misunderstanding in that era. It is not the main idea today, but still a similar idea has replaced it. The idea that, as David Murrow in his book, Why Men Hate Going to Church, he calls a Jesus is my boyfriend imagery. The idea that Jesus is just in love with everybody and such. There are other things on top of that cause the feminization of Christianity, a lack of manly pastors and elders, feel-good speeches or messages that don't really associate with the Bible, but just speak how life is better when you're a Christian, life is easy when you're a Christian. Also music, romantic type music, even in old hymns, which often focused on the love of God more than anything else, which God is love, but he's also a lot of other things, and too much focus on that led to a lot of misunderstanding. Praise and worship music is not much better off in most cases. with the replacement of very few words, you could come up with a secular boyfriend-girlfriend song. The similarity is startling. Also, the idea that Christianity is about me, the individual, has also led to this feminization. Whether men like it or not, or whether they would admit it or not, they would rather hear a drill sergeant type person tell them that it's going to be hard, you're going to have to give 100% to this, rather than hearing that if you do this, then life is going to be easy forever. They'd rather be unified under service than to hear that they're uniting to have fun and enjoy tea parties and such. So, the question, why do men avoid church while women are drawn to it? It's because of the Jesus is my boyfriend mentality, which is so promoted in the church today. Lack of manly pastors and elders, a lack of challenging messages, romantic music, and the idea that Christianity is all about the individual rather than about Christ. Men are turned off by all these things and have come to see Christianity as not manly. It's hard for men to relate to church and churches which do not promote manly characteristics. Men want to be men, and as long as churches continue to promote Christianity as they do, they will continue to see a disappointing attendance among men. Thank you for listening.